I said on Pod Save America, I want to be regime pilled. I want to be its most loyal servant. I want to be the propaganda minister. Give me something to do propaganda for. Okay? So that's number one. It's not happening, and I don't know if it ever will happen, but if it did, you would know. You know, this is why I always say be fucking normal. Like, don't be immediately antagonistic, right? Look. Holy, that is so crazy. The one who looks like a fucking cop? I don't know who that is. They were calling you controlled opposition in that interview? That's true. I am controlled opposition. Is correct. Who is this?
I just talked about how there is no major left-wing media source online. There's no socialist platform.
What? I don't think this guy is a cop, dude. You guys are silly. I think we just have a difference in opinion. Like, I don't know. No. It's fine. This guy's a fucking Fed? Really? What did he say?
And people got at me about Hasan. But I'm sorry, if you're using your socialist platform to co-sign genocide apologists who not only deny the genocide in Palestine is happening, but endorse the perpetuators of it, you're a bad socialist. If you're using your platform to funnel support towards the Democratic Party rather than telling them to join their own socialist party, you're a bad socialist. If you're using your platform to co-sign someone who is constantly...
By the way, like, AOC, I think, gets more heat, surprisingly enough. Well, not so surprisingly, but, like, she literally is more pro-Palestine than Bernie is, okay? Ocasio-Cortez defends accusing Israel of genocide and floor speech, literally from fucking, like, March 24th. Oh, 2024, from a year ago. 1 year ago. Okay. I was like, what the fuck? This happened a long time ago. Yeah. From 1 exact year ago. Okay. So here's the thing. My point on this is clear, right? Can they do more? Absolutely. Should they do more? Absolutely. And I want them to do more. And I want to have these conversations with them. Having said that, if, let's say, I don't know, fucking 50% of Congress had this opinion, Israel would perish. Okay? Like, that's why people being like, dude, you don't understand. Like, these guys are genocidal monsters. Like, their entire job is to funnel you back into the Democratic Party. Like, first of all, my job is not that. Okay? If there is a Democratic Party worth funneling into, I'll be its most loyal soldier. You'll know. The signs will be there, okay? The Hamas gift baskets and the DNC gift baskets will be opened on the unboxing stream that I do right here, okay? I'll be opening the Hamas gift basket right after I open the Ayatollah gift basket, and then I'll go on and open the DNC gift basket. Okay, there's no reason to hide that. I've said this before. I said it on Pod Johns. I said on Pod Save America, I want to be regime pilled. I want to be its most loyal servant. I want to be the propaganda minister. Give me something to do propaganda for. Okay, so that's number one. It's not happening, and I don't know if it ever will happen, but if it did, you would know. Okay? There's no reason for me to shelter you from my opinion. I have never shied away from saying my opinion. Having said that, with respect to AOC and Bernie, even if it was not even AOC's position, even if it was fucking Bernie Sanders' position, he's advocated in the Senate. You can say it's just symbolic, but he has straightforwardly advocated for a denial of weapons transfers, right, to Israel. Now, we can go over the language of that where he'll say like offensive weapons, but not defensive weapons, blah, 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 blah. Okay. That is currently, as it stands, minutia. Why? Because every other fucking congressperson, with the exception of like 17 senators that signed off on that bill, are literally going, what are you, insane? We're going to deny Israel $7 trillion worth of weapons? Suck my dick. You love Hamas. I'm going to start calling you Palestinian as a pejorative. That's my point. My point is, these are not perfect vessels. And your expectation in a fucking bourgeois capitalist country's duopoly that like one party member is going to be a perfect vehicle for a revolutionary sentiment is idiotic. Use the opportunities you have. What the fuck? Use the platform that you have, use the opportunities you have, wield them as a weapon. Okay? Instill class consciousness amongst the American public that is inherently aggressively anti anything that is even remotely cast aside as socialist. And you guys, on the other hand, don't want to do that. You just want to fucking chirp, blah, 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 blah. This is what you want to do. That's it. And so when I see someone who says like, Hasan, you're funneling people back to the Democratic Party, you're controlled opposition or this or that, I'm like, all right, sure, that's me. I think people call you a hypocrite on this because you move like a politician. I move like a politician. Dog, I'm slated to be pulled in front of Congress for a potential anti-Semitism task force hearing for my radical pro-Hamas and anti-Israel, anti-Semitic tendencies. And you're over here being like, you're moving like a politician. If any politician spoke like me, we would be living in a very different country. If any politician believed the things I believed, okay, we would be living in a dramatically different country. Potentially. I said potentially for the anti-Semitism task force. Potentially. Okay? Potentially. We don't know. My point is, I said slated, and then I said potentially, slated to appear potentially. Chatters are so dumb. They're like, will you stream it? If I have the opportunity, sure. In any case, I think you're wrong. I don't know how else to respond to this. No, I don't think I move like a politician. Or I think maybe your understanding of, I don't know where we go from here. They're killing those kids. What other pressure points do we have? Wait, what? If we were to be able to get AOC and Bernie Sanders to actively rail against, with all the broad public momentum that they have, actively rail against the current administration's anti-Palestinian actions, like implementing McCarthy trials and doing mass deportations, don't you think that would be an overwhelming benefit to, one, bring about more awareness to both the domestic brutality against anti-Israel sentiment and also potentially open up the floodgates of protest once again, something that the current administration, just as the previous administration, feared, which is why they are engaging in these acts of political repression. Ooh. These things not only take time, and I know the Palestinians don't have time, but unfortunately, in terms of working within the confines of the American political movement, these things do take time and initiative and effort. I will do everything in my power, as I have, to bring about both awareness, to also fucking fundraise, while also simultaneously trying to stamp out domestic forms of oppression to the best of my ability within the legal means that are in front of me, okay? That's it. This does not mean that the American political movement is the end-all, be-all. It's not. But use any and every opportunity you have to your advantage. I don't know what else to say about this. Otherwise, we might have a difference in opinion, a difference in methods. That's it.
Distance themselves from Marxist theory and even suggested that it's an extremist understanding, you're a bad socialist. And I feel like it should go without saying, if you do any of these things, you're probably not a socialist at all. And if you're a fan who's got a problem...
Like, for me, here's the thing, okay? If this motherfucker was an elected representative that's able to bring 32,000 people, 34,000 people to come listen to him talk about how healthcare is a human right, you know, I'd be glazing him too, all right? And until you have political motion like that and broad acceptance like that, you ain't shit. I'm sorry. You're just going to fucking sit in your car and chirp, and that's it. And if it's the overall output, you're not going to get anywhere. I'm trying to do something, okay? You can be more pure than me. If you want to call me a capitalist or a hypocrite, go right ahead. Plenty of people do, okay? This guy won't be the first. He will not be the last, okay? That's it. Someone said all of this is self-soothing. Yep, it is. Now, this does not mean that, like, a lot of the people that have criticisms are coming at it from like a cynical perspective, or all the people that are criticizing me are coming at it from a cynical perspective. I'm not saying that, okay? I mostly agree with Lex as an organizer. Bro, this is the other thing. This is the other side of this, man. I'm sorry, okay? That doesn't, like, that's not like a fucking shield, all right? Okay, great. Then he should know better. Like, what do you mean? People do this to me in my chat too. You know how many fucking organizers are in this goddamn community? Is filled to the brim with organizers, okay? There's hella organizers in here that would look at this and go, you're behaving in a wrecker. You're doing wrecker behavior. This is not like instilling solidarity at all. So shut the fuck up, chatters who say, oh, well, this person's an organizer. Okay, I'm not. I'm a fucking capitalist charlatan, okay? like, I'm not even disparaging his capacity to organize. I'm just simply saying that I have a different method. It's okay. You might not agree with it. Maybe one day you'll see it. Hopefully, inshallah, if I'm successful, then you'll understand. If I'm not, then you can keep saying I'm a fucking, capitalist. And don't dunk on this person and say like, oh, he's not a good organizer. Like, shut up. I hate that too. You don't have to fucking defend me like that. And even then, you're not 100% sure efforts will be worthwhile, but you're holding out for the chance that it might. So even if it doesn't work, it doesn't mean it wasn't worth it. Yeah. Overall, yeah, this is a fucking really funny take, but this is why I always say be fucking normal. Like, don't be immediately antagonistic, right? Look, I like leftist politics, but struggling with leftist people. Ideologically, I'm extremely leftist. I abhor capitalism and want it dismantled. I'm extremely involved in social activism, intense protests for Palestine, anti-Trump, women's rights, etc. I do a lot to unlearn the white supremacy and patriarchal propaganda fed to me as a kid. However, reflecting on my years of associating with people with my same ideologies, I feel conflicted. Maybe I'm having bad luck finding the right group, but it feels like in leftist circles, I'm never good enough. If I say one wrong thing or word something poorly, I'm jumped on. I'm ND. I don't know what that means. Oh, neurodivergent. So sometimes things I say don't come out the right way and require further clarification. It feels like there's a lack of compassion, curiosity, etc. in leftist circles. Leftist pick me leftist. I don't think this person is a pick me leftist. What the fuck? No, this is an experience shared by a lot of people, I think. As a matter of fact, I go so far as to say this is one of the only fucking communities because I have to actively yell at you. Literally, this is one of the very few like large leftist communities out there that's kind of chill about people engaging in the act of microaggressions on their pathway to learning. And God forbid, I have tried for a very long fucking time to make sure that this space is not inherently hostile to those with differences in opinion. Now, there's obviously there's an arbitrary line somewhere where if you go beyond it, if you're like just actively, if you actively go beyond the line, like I don't care about the designation between like trots or something, okay, even though a lot of left book has like a no trots rule. That's not even what I'm talking about. I mean like there are areas within organizing, you're supposed to look for areas of agreement. You're not supposed to constantly seek out areas of disagreement, because constantly looking for areas of disagreement, like I love my brother. Okay, I love my brother. That is my blood. Okay, I love my family. There's a shit ton that I disagree with them on that. Okay, on sometimes the way they see the world or the things that they do. It's fine. It's okay. I have plenty of friends that are not fucking anti-capitalist. Okay. There's just not. And they're not. And I don't spend a whole amount of time trying to convert them to preach the gospel of anti-capitalism. It's just stupid and irrelevant and infantile, I think, to just only focus your efforts on that. You don't, so you're regressive. Yes, I'm regressive. I'm not like other leftists, so you're regressive. No, dude, I'm just not fucking that autistic, okay? I am, but not that autistic. That's the difference. Like, that's the point. And I try to tell you all the time. I feel like sometimes I like pull chatters and I shake them like a baby. Okay, I'm like, stop doing this. And you're like, no. My point is, you have to find areas of agreement. You have to come across as agreeable. And there are plenty of issues where you can, no matter what someone's political perspective is, there are plenty of issues where you can find agreement, even with like some of the most reactionary morons on the planet, okay? The goal is to actively get them on your side on those issues and slowly but surely get them to see the world from your perspective, because you're a charitable, because you can instill charitability amongst them. Okay? If you are constantly seeking out political purity amongst your peers, you're just going to be a person that's impossible to comprehend in the real world. You're not going to be able to have a normal conversation with people. This is why it's important to be normal. This is why I always say, be normal, be normal, be normal, be normal, be normal, okay? You're not helping when you mention your autistic status in one sentence and then deny in other places and leave a lot of us feeling like you'll roll with the tag at convenience. If you need to process your autistic status, this way I can at least understand that. But yeah, you do get folks with discriminatory view. A little too much red meat sometimes. Yes, I'm an inherently ableist, anti-autistic person. Hasan's a good guy doing good work, but the reverse purity argument is a miss for me. What? No, I mean, it might be a miss for you, but notice how you feel safe in this community. Here, I'll give you the greatest example. You want to know why you get to be in a fucking community with like 32,000 like-minded people, as opposed to your Splinter Discord that you occupy otherwise, where you guys do fake reading, reading seminars or whatever? Because of this perspective that I have. Many people in here did not start off as like card-carrying Marxist-Leninists, okay? As a matter of fact, no one does. It's crazy.
God damn, dude. Holy shit.